Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, for those people who watched the news that was aired yesterday about the recommendations that SRC is making,
the Salaries and Remuneration Commission has announced salary increments for state officers, with members of parliament and cabinet secretaries among those that will now pocket millions of shillings in salaries and allowances.
I think personally it's high time Kenya started another conversation on this SRC body, maybe an hashtag for Occupy SRC. Surely at a time when the president is struggling to win back the hearts of the angry youths who have shown open dissatisfaction with his rule, SRC goes further to propose salary increment for MPs who have failed to safeguard the interests of Kenyans. SRC has shown clear indication that it is now protecting the interests of the so-called waheshimiwa, these members of parliament. In fact, the people who are being blamed right now are these members of parliament when about the issue that is actually bedeviling the country, the members of parliament. Why would SRC make these recommendations? What has triggered these recommendations? Is SRC telling us that we make more money in taxations? And why hasn't SRC factored in the medical interns whose budget, according to sources, was cut from the proposed budget? Personally, I see SRC sending a different message, some mixed signal that we have money to sustain such salaries. So I want us to explore this new development from SRC. If you get there, please like this video. It's so important if you like this video, and I'm so grateful for everyone who has been liking our videos. I don't take that for granted. Subscribe if you're not subscribed before. To existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. You see, I stumbled upon a video, a very shocking video from a parent. You know, if it has reached a point where a parent would make his child kneel down and then she prays to that child in preparation for allowing the child to go to the streets to demonstrate, that can only mean one thing. Something is not right. Just watch this clip.
Ineno ko dhi lweny ka kidwa loso Kenya ai loch manyany. Ineno ko jochiende mag tiagas be ni ndara yo kuma mang'ongo. Iwacho ni ma kodong nying wuora to biro bedo maber ai loch manyany. Akwayi ni mondo mi tel kode kata pok oringo gi jowete gi Jehova. Ipande e bwo lwanda yo kuma mang'ongo. Ipande wag jo CBI Satan manyalo ya Jehova. Jehova sametimo mano moduogo manene godhiambo. Anagomiro kamano kuom ng'wono mar Ruodhwa Yesu Kristo Ruodhwa. Amen.
Personally, ladies and gentlemen, SRC's move is not going to de-escalate the situation that the government is facing right now. In fact, what Mrs. Mengich, who is the current chairperson of SRC, and for her to make such recommendation, and best advice to Ms. Mengich, I think the best thing is just to withdraw the recommendation for the sake of the country. William RUTO said it's high time people lived within their means. What SRC is doing is now telling people to live beyond their means. If Kenya doesn't have money, how or where will the country get money to pay salaries? If I heard William RUTO during the interview very well, then he was talking about how Kenya is straining to pay salaries. Now, these increments are being made. And in fact, the increments are on the MCAs, women reps, members of parliament, county governors, senators, the president, deputy president, the prime cabinet secretary, so many people, the groups. You know, this is, you know, we're talking about billions here, being more billions to the salaries. But how is SRC trying to equate the increment with the service being delivered? Do these MPs work for citizens, or they work for the government? Because what SRC is telling us, the picture that is coming out here, is that SRC looks at the members of parliament as people who work for the government. Oh, the question is, was there a reward for these members of parliament if at all they passed the finance bill? I mean, what is coming out here is a bit strange. at the time when people expected that maybe SRC would come out and say, we want to reduce salaries. Of course, salaries in Kenya, but the law doesn't guarantee that. You can just add more roles to someone, but you don't reduce salary. But someone can opt to take pay cuts. It's allowed to take pay cuts. Me, what I think they should be done, the SRC should be targeting the allowances. These allowances, entertainment allowances, for what? You know, the government should approach things like 1 billion for tea. For what? Should there be a billion, almost a billion budget set aside for tea only? Let me take you to something. I just want to jog your mind a bit. You know why I think maybe Kenya has a lot of money, but the narrative being pushed out there is that Kenya doesn't have money. During Moi's time, I want to talk about these first ladies and second ladies. Most likely, I will also talk about the spouse of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. So let's go back to when Moi was in power. Who was Moi's first lady? Very few people know about that. In fact, we didn't see a first lady during Moi's time. Now, we know that Moi had a deputy, a vice president, who was Saitoti. Saitoti had a wife. So the second lady's name was Margaret Saitoti. But the question is, do we have any project that can be linked to her name? Most likely, we don't have any. So let's get back to Kibaki. In fact, before Moi retired, there was Musalia Mudavadi. So Elsie was the second lady, but within the shortest time of, I think, less than 4 months. So let's get to Kibaki's time. Kibaki had a first lady, Lucy Kibaki, the late. Do we have any project linked to her name? Certainly no. Kijana Wamalwa was the vice president. The second lady was there, but chose a rare private life. But then, do we have any project? Certainly not. So then there was Mudi Awori. After Kijana Wamalwa passed on, Mudi Awori came. But Mudi Awori had a second a wife who was her name was Rose Awori. Rose Awori was the second lady. Also, we don't have any project linked to him. I'm just trying to, justify something here. I will tell you about that. Let's head over to Uhuru's time. There was Margaret Kenyatta.
First Lady Margaret Kenyatta successfully finished the 21-kilometer race at the Nyayo National Stadium on Sunday, marking the climax of her Beyond Zero campaign. Many of you remember the Beyond Zero campaign, the campaign to reduce the maternal deaths. Most of you know that. Then there's the issue of the mobile clinics, issue of the Beyond Zero, those clinics. If you remember that campaign, then you certainly have something to link Margaret Kenyatta with, because there's the issue of the Linda Mama as a result of Margaret Kenyatta. And Linda Mama has helped so many households. People have really benefited from it because it covers you from the antenatal care to delivery to postnatal care. So that's what Linda Mama does. But the government is planning to, I think, scrap it off. So at least there is something that can be linked to the first lady there. I won't talk about the second lady, who is Rachel RUTO back then. Of course, in this regime, the Kenya Kwanza regime, there is a first, second lady. There is also the spouse of the cabinet secretary, to the prime cabinet secretary. So the first lady and the second lady, we all know that they are prayer warriors. Maybe that's what can be linked to them, prayer warriors. They pray a lot. They pray for us, pray for the nation. They use prayers to solve everything. So their offices are being financed so that they can continue praying. Millions being splashed to their offices. I think SRC should do the math again and allow the president to initiate the call of living within our means. And one of that solution to that call is what William Ruto talked about, which is cutting down this, in fact, removing the budgets of the first and second lady. If the budget of the first and second lady
are going to be removed, then most likely the office of the spouse, the prime cabinet secretary, that office will also not receive budgets, or probably will receive budget cuts, or all these three offices will receive budget cuts. I want you to react to this issue by SRC. I was just trying to jog your mind so that you can get to understand why we are losing a lot. And the government needs to cut down on expenditure and deal with the issue of corruption so that Kenya can have money. When that is done, the budget has been cut down, no corruption, and people realize that that is the case, then people will definitely feel the urge to pay more taxes, because their taxes will always be used effectively. No corruption, no misuse. Then you can rest assured that people will be okay when taxes are, when they are forced to pay more taxes. What's your take on that, ladies and gentlemen? Maybe you have something to share regarding SRC's move, and most likely I can see you protesting on this issue of SRC. Just react on the comment section below regarding what you think about the move by SRC to give a green light on the increment of salaries of waheshimiwa wote. If you're watching this video, not subscribe, please take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.